Hey there, it's BlueMantisGaming and welcome back to the 5th episode of my Everton career mode. And before I do anything in this episode, I just want to show you a couple of things. First of which is the scouting network. I've set up a scouting network, as you can see on screen at the moment. But and that is basically, obviously, if you know what a scouting network is, you bring in players, like really younger players, like ranging from about 15 I think it is to 17, 18, whatever, just youth players basically that will go on and hopefully be good. Obviously that depends on the judgment of the scout and all that, but yeah, the second thing is obviously the teams. I've created a first, second and reserve side, and I think that's important because, you know, rather than just changing the team every time, you can like switch about. Just like say you've got a game against a weaker side, like we have here, you can switch. Which is what I've done. So I'm playing my second team now. Yeah, obviously Luzern, we're in the Europa League, and Luzern, I think, yeah, Luzern are a team which, to be honest, I should be beating with my reserve side. They're just they're not good at all. They're like, I think 1.5 stars or maybe 2 stars, maybe more than that. I don't know, but from judging from the way they're playing, they can't be very good. And in the 8th minute, I score and make it 1-0. Naismith scores, but to be honest, I'm not going to include all the highlights of this match because, to be honest, it's not a match of much significance. Even if I lose this, which I never would, because they are just, it was really easy. They had literally no chances, and that right there is probably one of the best headers, if not the best header. Definitely the best header I've scored on this game. It might be just one of the best headers I've scored in my whole life of playing FIFA. But yeah, it was brilliant. It was just like, in terms of like accuracy and like placement, it was just brilliant right in the corner. But we have probably the only issue in this match was an injury to Atsu. Now Atsu is not a first team player, but he is a backup left mid, left wing for Townsend, who we bring on. And you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world if he got injured, but you know, it would be bad because he is a good player. And you know, in case Townsend gets injured, you know, if we have a couple of injuries, it could just be left with a hole in the squad. But we win that game 2-0. It could have been more, but I didn't really try towards the end. I just kind of sat back and thought, you know, I've won it. I'm always going to win this. But we've got 3 games in this episode. A second game is against West Brom. We're away at West Brom. We're at the Hawthorns, which is cool. They have all the stadiums, of course. And yeah, this is a game which I probably should win because West Brom aren't that good. They're alright, they have their moments, but overall they're really not that good. So I should be beating them. And we get a corner early on here, 20 minutes in, and Baines whips the ball in, and Barry of all people is there to put it in. Now Barry is a player who you wouldn't expect. Well, you might expect him to score, but you know, if you look at our other players, you know, Lukaku, Barkley, Townsend, players like that, you wouldn't really expect him to score, especially not from a header, but he has done, and he makes it 1-0. And to be honest, it was a bit, this game was, I wouldn't describe it as hard. It was kind of mixed. It was like, sometimes it was hard, other times it was easy. It was really open at times, and then it was really kind of congested. I found it hard to score, but like in the sort of first half especially, this was a time where it was quite open. Could have easily made it 2-0, and there was a couple of half chances there before half time. And yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, half time, and yeah, it was 1-0, and I'm happy with that because we're winning. But the bad thing about a 1-0 lead is that, you know, it only takes a second for them to get back into it, and then another second for them to score again, which is what happened here. And this was a really it's the kind of goal that just, it makes you just want to cry, because that's like, knowing I really should have dealt with that. The defender and the goal, it wasn't the goalie's fault. It was just a really kind of frustrating goal. I mean, look at that. I think it was Baines just completely missed that header. Just fell to ground, and Gardner kind of did a chip header. It was a nice goal, but it just left me tearing my hair out because that really should not have gone in, but that made it 1-1. And as I said, in this game it was open in the first half. In the second half it explodes into life. Lukaku cuts inside and smashes it into the corner, and that's actually his first goal since the 4-0 raping of Leicester, in which he scored 4 goals. But yeah, he scored his 5th goal, and he's probably top scorer, to be honest, despite not scoring in the past 3 games. But yeah, that made it 2-1, exactly 2 minutes after conceding. But as you might have guessed already, there is another goal in the next 2 minutes, and yeah, well, Malumbu are kind of giving it away, but Varela gives it to Malumbu. Malumbu gives it back to Varela and plays it through, and I should never have came out to it. That was just the worst thing. That was the worst mistake of the game. Gardner scored again, but had Howard have been in his goal, he probably would have saved. You know, well, maybe not, but he would have stand a much better chance of saving it. But the reason I came out is because I thought it was going wide, and I thought that pass was just going out for a goal kick, so I just thought, oh, let's just run onto it, I might catch it, you know, but no, and Dai hit it back into Gardner, and Gardner scored, which was a piss take because it meant I lost my lead due to a terrible mistake. But yeah, we come not close, but we come close. Yeah, we come close to scoring there. But it was well wide, and it was a weak shot. Had it been on target, it still wouldn't have gone in. But we make 2 subs, bringing up Gibson and Besic, and my midfield, especially the likes of Barry, who gets tired very quickly, were really tired, so I had to bring him off, and just to strengthen up the midfield a bit. But it didn't work. The game actually finished 2-2, apart from those 3 goals in about 6 minutes. There wasn't much action, which was disappointing because you know, had that have lasted all game, it would have been a great video to show, and it still was. But yeah, we're coming up against our 3rd and final game, and we have a bit of a disaster on our hands. Townsend is injured, and therefore both our left mids, left wings, whatever you want to say, are injured. So we had to play Oviedo, and to be honest, he wasn't bad in this game. He wasn't great, but he did well. I think, you know, when you compare him to Lukaku, Townsend or Atsu, he's got nowhere near the amount of pace. He's not built to be a left mid, but he did well, you know. And as you can see, he's doing well just there in that clip. But Barkley cuts inside and has a shot, and that was the second chance in about 10 minutes. Lukaku obviously was 1-on-1, probably should have scored, but Liverpool had a chance of their own. Balotelli ran into the box, and it was a good save by Howard. But again, Balotelli probably should have finished that. When you look at the quality of the player, it should have been a goal, but it wasn't, and they very nearly scored again. Had that have taken a more, had that have taken a kind of better deflection, or yeah, better deflection, it would have gone in. But Lukaku nearly scores for the 2nd time there, and there was quite a bit of action in this first half, to be honest. And yeah, just as I say that, Oviedo picks up the ball, gives it to Lukaku. Lukaku cuts inside, runs into the box. This time it's at a much better angle than this first one. You know, the first one was like more kind of like straight, you know, head on one-on-one. But this was kind of to the side, so he had room to plant it in the corner, which he did, and made it 1-0 right at half time, which is great, because even though there wasn't that mental factor, because obviously there's no mental factor in FIFA, it's a computer. Computers don't have brains and feelings or whatever, so yeah, there was none of that. But it did give me an upper hand going into the second half, winning 1-0. So yeah, and Barkley goes 1-on-1, and he's about to score here, and why? That was just like, by anyone's standards, that was an easy, well, not easy chance, but you know, he should have buried that. And I really regretted that, because about 2 minutes later they went and did some scoring of their own. And I think Balotelli, yeah, it went off the bar, and then Gerrard kind of just headed it in. It was an open goal. Yeah, so it was 1-1, and at this point I was feeling kind of, I had, mixed feelings really, because I should be winning 2-0, but then again I could have been losing. It's that kind of game. Probably wouldn't have been losing because they have only had like 1 or 2 chances, but still, but they nearly go in front there. I just kind of howled and the defender kind of cancelled him out, but Lukaku is just such a beast. Look at, he just can just run past whole defenses. Goes here, and he should have buried that. He really should have. Yeah, he should have at least hit the target. He tried to. I kind of tried to put it in the corner, but it went wide. And oh my god, that was had that have gone in, oh my god, I would like. That was just. It was on his left foot, but you just need to score that. Like, from his point of view, you can't miss that. You just can't. And I thought at that point, 90 minutes. Obviously that chance just then that might just go in, but it didn't. And yeah, it finished 1-0. It was a good game. I'm pleased with the result, but we hadn't had a win in this episode, so therefore we had dropped 4 points. But thanks for watching. Next episode should be up soon. Please like, comment, subscribe. Bye.